a job, but just to get experience.
But I think our government has the policy in the government institution. There we can go and then getting the internship for free, and then you work as I think it is 6 months.
Internships.
Like in RDB, go there and you pass 6 months, and then you get the certificate. But I think it is the one way of getting the experience in working, I think, in Rwanda.
Yeah. So internships. I know it's working for free, which people are a lot of times like, but the thing about it is internships or volunteering, like the difference being like volunteering, you can do that while you're still in school. You don't have to wait and take time off. But if you're doing these sort of things, you can get experience with before you graduate, and you can get experience without having a job first. Like, yeah, that's how I got my first job. Was when I was in my first year of university. I started volunteering with ISAC, and I was in charge of alumni relations. So I had to organize this event. I had a budget. I had to work with Excel. I had to talk to partners, like businesses and companies, like as like an 18-year-old student. So I mean, I was volunteering, like I wasn't paid anything, and I did it outside of my regular class time hours. But it was like specifically for this experience that I had that I got my first job a year later, and my second year working for the government. So all my other working experience had been like in a restaurant, which is not like the government doesn't care that I worked at a restaurant. But it did look at the fact that I knew how to use Excel. I had gone on meetings with companies before. I'd organized this event that had this budget and had managed that. Yeah. So even though it wasn't paid, even though it was like a part-time thing I did during school, it was something that I had the skills, and I had skills and experience that I could bring to this job. Yeah. What else? Like, something. The other thing that this group over there was talking about too is, if there are people willing to hire you, then what about starting your own business, right? You guys know Abraham, the guy from Mexico. He was doing a session this morning in Academy about entrepreneurship. So that's another option. Like, you don't have to be 40, 50, 60 years old to start a company. You could be 18, 20, 25. Yeah. And actually in Rwanda, it takes you a day, just a day, in order to register your company. It's very easy. Yeah. So what do you guys think about like volunteering and entrepreneurship? Do you think
Talking about it, so one can say about entrepreneurship. So on that side, I think so. It's easy to create a company.
it's easy?
Yeah, it's easy to take a name, take what you will do, and get
Yeah,
registered,
business
get
Yeah.
your ID.
But to
The problem
implement,
is the investment is a problem. Even if you have small investment, there are some things that are required for the company getting like taxes. Yeah, so if you don't get taxes, if the investment is small, it's a problem to get your own job. Maybe I feel that we can go that way of searching for experience. Because in Rwanda, I feel you can't open your own company without working before for someone. You have first to work and search for capital, then see if you can be able to open such kind of a company.
In November, I hope you guys all, in November, end of November, there's something called Global Entrepreneurship Week. Have you heard of it before?
Yeah.
Global Entrepreneurship Week. It's a week where companies and NGOs come together with youth in order to teach them and about entrepreneurship and develop these things. So when you have things like questions about, how to do taxes, they can, depending on which event you're getting with, they pair you with people who have experience to mentor you, to answer your questions, to give you this knowledge. So I'm not saying entrepreneurship is not the easiest way to find a job, but it can be one of the more successful ways if you are passionate about what you're doing, right? Like, not always, the easiest way is the best. Like, but I'm not.
It's the best we know.
I've started a business before. Like, it's not easy to do, but it also doesn't need to take a lot of money. You can start and have like a small company, and you don't need to, get investors right away. Most small companies that are successful don't require a lot of upfront finances.